Hey guys, welcome to the Potsy. My name is AJ.
Hello guys, this is Flex.
All right.
So AJ, today we have some good news, bad news. What do we have today, brother?
Well, today was a very volatile session today in the market. VIX did spike up 15%. It went low to 16 and then it just spiked up back to 18 today, which means it was a very volatile session. Now, with that being said, the reason why there was so much volatility is because it's earnings seasons and it's the tech earnings. So today, major players were in effect. Microsoft leading the way, came out with a beat, and it was a surprise because there was an announcement saying that Microsoft might not meet expectations and might have a low quarter, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So let's see how Microsoft did today. Microsoft earnings just came out and revenue was up 12% year over year with $51.9 billion. Operating income was $20.5 billion. And net income was $16.7 billion, an increase of 2% year over year. So it did beat EPS and it did beat in revenue. So with that being said, let's check out the Microsoft earnings slides and see what is going on and what you can expect from this next quarter coming forward. Again, you can get this slides from Microsoft.com. Go to investors and just click on the third quarter fiscal year 2023 results. So the presentation basically contains financial summaries and quarterly business highlights and the financial overview. So that's what's more important to look at. So as you can see, revenue was up. Oh, my bad. 52.9 billion. I said 51.9 billion. And it was a growth of 7%. So that's very good, especially on an economy like this. The gross margin was 36.7% with a 9% growth. So that's even better. Operating income is $22.4 billion, which is a 10% growth from year over year. And net income was $18.3 billion. So basically what was growing mostly is the cloud revenue. As you can see, the cloud revenue has grown. This was 1 year ago and how it's improving year over year. I mean quarter over quarter, sorry. And that is what a lot of people were looking at. And another major reason why Microsoft was jumping after hours is because a lot of this has to do with the future of AI. A lot of companies like Microsoft and Google, Amazon are betting money on AI. Now, with that being said, Apple is one that hasn't mentioned much of AI yet. So look for that maybe coming in their next earnings session, which is a week from now. So Microsoft Cloud revenue was up 28.5 billion and commercial bookings have increased 11%. So a lot of businesses have been going back to Microsoft and these big companies for really, get that price deductions and all that stuff to save money, especially with the economic climate that we are facing right now. With that being said, 9.7 billion was returned to shareholders and it has a $5.1 billion worth of dividends to give out, which is really amazing for a company, with still making profits and everything. So cash flow has been open, 24.4 billion. It is down 4% year over year. But with that being said, operating expenses have gone up as well. So that's the reason why, cash flow has gone down a little. Now, productivity, it's up 13%, 17% increase in revenue with the cloud services, like we mentioned before. Now, something that has decreased 28% is the Windows OEM revenue. So a lot of these devices that are more personal to like, like a retail user or everyday average American, yeah, they haven't been really buying into the Windows OEM revenue or anything like that. Things have been switched up. So maybe look for Apple to maybe have an increase in that or maybe follow the pattern that Microsoft is following. Uh, so investors have been checking in on the total revenue, which has grown 11%. and their operating income, which is grown 14%. But as you can see, year over year, it has been slowly rising. So a lot of people are using commercial products for their businesses and everything. And that's why you can see a big growth in Microsoft. Now, these next slides are basically showing these products that are basically increasing LinkedIn, which is one of the uh, partners of Microsoft that oversees, a lot of business, profiles and stuff like that, has seen a revenue increase of 8%. And Office commercials products, like we said on the last slide, has grown too. So with that being said, let's switch it to the stock graph, which a lot of people would like to see, a lot of day traders would like to see. So I did trade Microsoft. It was going down session. All session it was going downwards, which the reason why around this time there was a news coming that Microsoft might not have strong earnings. Whenever that happens, usually the opposite happens, because but during the day it did start going down after that news. But as you can see, the earnings got beat and it did break the 300 cycle. So that is very important to note, that it has beat 300, and if it holds 300 tomorrow, look for like it to increase further. 300 is a very important mark right there. So it hasn't passed it ever since, the pandemic. I mean, the 2022 downward trend where, we had a mild recession scare, and since the interest rates are going on, it hasn't broke 300, but this time it has after hours. So look for that to be something to use as a support if it does break 300. But 290, 292 is a strong support area that you might see. It might fall in the beginning of the day, and look for that area to be as a jump. So this might be a big jump point to maybe enter for day traders to, get back on the bounce when it happens. So with that news being said, we did see, let's see Pacw. It was another bank that basically was, it skyrocketed after hours after a downward trend of the day because of the fears. Just what happened to FRC today. FRC basically went down 50%, Lex, 50% throughout the day, and that it was just a terrible news. Basically, like,
that's a
like
big
we
drop.
said before, in previous videos of First Republic Bank. Not everything it looks like, if it looks choppy and there's reasons why the stockholders are taking out their money, you don't want to invest in a company. Like, if you were to tell me to invest in it right now too, I mean, it'd be a great idea to invest in this like the stock, because from its all time you can see that it was 220, so it's took a dagger down, which is right now at 792. It's more than 90% down from its all-time high. But if you were to ask me if you want to still invest in this money, I mean, in this company, I would say no, because I don't see any strong financials yet. I don't see it right now. So just for a little, amazing sales. I mean, it is going to be at a great sales price throughout, but I need to see some stability. I need to see better foundation. I need to see First Republic actually making the right steps to ensure their shareholders and their depositors that it's going to be okay. Right now, it doesn't seem that way. The government is supposedly going to seize FRC Bank right now. So that's a major key takeaway. Let's see what the government does before investing in this company. As a long-term trader, I still don't see any possibility or my probability to invest in this bank right now. But I mean, when there is fear, that's when people invest. So I mean, if you want to put some money in right now, if you have some money, laying around, go ahead and, invest in it. But like I said, this is not financial advice. I wouldn't recommend it because I'm not ready to make that, step forward. Just because everyone has fear, there's a reason why. And maybe that should be established first before you make your step into investing anything.
So basically what you're saying, maybe not what you're saying, but what it looks like, this could be the next bank to fail.
It certainly
It,
looks like it, but I mean, the shareholders are like basically taking their money out. Like people are shorting this, and there was a 32% short in the middle of the day that I was looking at. There's a lot of people shorting this stock right now. So, but with that being said, if there is any good news that it could turn around, this could flip just like that, and it'll skyrocket the other way too. So that is when you would want to probably put some money in to make a good investment. You just don't want to put your money in and then like this was at $16. In one day it went down like more than 50%. So that just cut it in half.
but
So
something like
when
that will get customers nervous though, and
yeah,
start getting the money out.
correct. And like investors really don't understand like when the advantage of shorting, and we could talk about that like a shorting video in another video, but real quick, like if it dropped 50%, if it's dropped 50%, it doesn't take 50% to get it back to the same price. It needs to go 100% to match that 50% it dropped. Because look,
Yeah,
16 divided by 50% is what, $8. $8 times 50% is $12. It is not going to get to 16. Eight times a whole 100%, which is 8 times 8. I mean 8 times 2, basically. 8 plus 8 is going to make
yeah,
it $16.
60%.
So that's a whole 100%. You need that whole 8. You need that whole 100% to get it back to 16. Sorry, I was messing up in my subtraction, addition, multiplication, but anyways, next on the map is Amazon. Amazon was going down the whole day throughout. And its earnings are Thursday, I believe. But after market, just like with the Microsoft news, it shot up 5%. So basically it recovered whatever, it went back to the stability of 107. So look for that, and look for 105, 106 to be its key level for bounce. Because right now, if we're going to look at the futures today, futures are bright. NASDAQ futures are up already 1.5%. So look for a little pullback going down in the morning, but look for a green day, because this was an amazing look for a good green day tomorrow. That's what I'm betting on. So look for a pullback in the morning, and look for it to jump back up. And if it stays like this with the news, and nothing disturbs it, yeah, look for a green day. But with that being said, then you got to look at May coming forward. When these earnings play really good, starting next week, you're gonna get these Fed news and see if since the Fed is saying that, oh, the economy is doing well, people are still buying, earnings are still doing good, there will probably be a rate hike, and that rate hike could cause another fear for markets to probably pull back down to again. So just again, if you're a long-term investor, Matt, you're just going through waves right now, waves after wave. So stick in there. And if you're a day trader, you're probably loving it, going the up and down movement, because it causes a lot of volatility, and which the VIX is right now low in volatility. Now, there's another map that I like to look at, fear and greed index. So what does that say? So when you look at the fear and greed index right here, right now, it used to be extremely greed like a month ago, but now it's slowly going back to neutral. So right now it's still in the greed level, so which is good if you want to still pump up if you are expecting the markets to pump up. The markets did not do good today because of the banking system crisis and the fear of what the Fed is going to do next week, or I mean May 3rd, sorry. So look for that. And going back to the stock market chart.
So
We have
basically,
Amazon
what you
earnings coming up. Mm-hmm.
so everything I'm seeing what you're showing is that it wasn't bad at all
Well, the day was bad.
overall.
The day was bad, but now since like it was going bad and everyone's expecting the worst, like it might crash a little. But every time these fears pop up, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, and all them, they beat on their earnings, and it goes back to the normal trend, and people start putting their money back in. Now, I don't know how long that will last. If they're saying the markets aren't doing well, the consumer fears are, because the consumer fear was up. Yeah, and it missed the target of 104. It was at 101 something. So it did definitely miss the consumer spending index. So that's what drove the markets down today. But with that being said, I don't know how much longer the economy can keep up with the consumers with the price increases and then the interest rate increases. So something has to give. People are supposedly are still spending, so that's why the economy is still going in the right direction. But how much longer can that go? The banks are doing great. Supposedly Chase, Goldman Sachs, all of them had really good earnings. You see Amazon is coming up on their earnings. Microsoft beat, Google beat. Let's see what Visa did today. Visa was pretty much blank today, even after hours. It didn't really spike up much. It went back to its normal area, which you expect of Visa, because Visa tells you how much, credit card debt there is and how much, their transaction and how much they're spending. And so Visa is a really good indicator of that. But right now, it didn't do much. Chipotle, however, really, really brought it to the party. If you invested in Chipotle, you basically made like $140 within like 5 minutes right here. It beat earnings and it's doing really well. As you can see, if we go out to the charts, it is still doing colossal. It is doing colossal. It still has a long way. Oh, actually right now, if you look at its earning, it's almost at its all-time high right now. See, it's at 1918 right now. It could, if it probably could get to 1958. This is amazing right here. It could probably go to an all-time record high. So just like what McDonald's did, McDonald's beat earnings too, and you see McDonald's is at its all-time high right now. So these indicators are showing that this is McDonald's, Chipotle, Ulta Beauty is at its all-time high too. These are basically stocks that are showing that they're recession proof. People always want to eat makeup, people always want to have the fast food service, that's what they go to, and that's where they put their money in when there is like recession. They want to go a little cheaper than what they usually spend. And McDonald's raised their prices, Chipotle's raised their prices, Ulta Makeup has raised their prices. So with that being said, look for these stocks to hold, and then also look for these stocks to actually come down if there is something, if the economy and the interest rate starts going down. Maybe you might see these stocks go a little down, because people are going to go back to spending money on other things where they're are a little more expensive and stuff like that once interest rates start going back down. But we'll see how it goes. But these stocks have turned to proven resilient, and they're basically really, really recession proof, as you can say. So right now Microsoft did pass 302 and after hours, so look for this is a very strong point, and if it does hold, look for Microsoft to get back to its all-time highs.
Well, it looks like Chipotle is doing good, which is a good thing because they've been having some issues in the past,
And
closing
those issues have
locations,
not
and
stopped shareholders from investing, though.
yeah, which is good. That means that people is gonna have their job. They're gonna keep their jobs. They're not
Correct,
gonna
correct.
close doors. McDonald's, like you said, is good because no matter what happens, no matter how bad it is, people still want to go to McDonald's and buy because of what you said, because of the price. I mean, people are cutting back, and food is one of the things they're cutting back on. Is Microsoft? We all know Microsoft. They always do good. Well, most of the time, but then doing good now is. Oh, me, I worry about how bad the company does because at the end of the day, if they do really bad, they cannot cut employment, and we don't want none of that because it's just it's a chain. You know, you lose your job, people don't go eat, people don't put gas in their car, they don't buy cars, they don't buy houses, they don't buy clothes, so it just keep going, and hopefully things are gonna get better from now on.
Yeah, with that being said, that's all for what we have for you today on the financial side. And look for Amazon earnings coming in on Thursday. That's going to be very highly anticipated. And then tomorrow, look for Facebook earnings. Uh Facebook and Snapchat earnings are going to be very important to see how the social media side is doing. And see you in the next
Well,
one.
well, just one more thing.
Mhm.
Just guys, keep in mind, we're not telling you guys how to invest and what you do. Make your own decisions, please.
Yes,
And
sir.
thank you for watching. Please share, subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Thank you for your time.
Bye.